Hey guys, before the podcast gets going, I just wanted to apologize for this being so late. There's a number of reasonings behind this, but I don't want to seem like I'm making excuses. So, as an apology, we'll be putting this up as soon as it's done, and then we'll also be making what was supposed to be a Patreon-only episode of the podcast free for everyone to listen to. Probably upload it to both Patreon and YouTube so you can listen it to wherever you want or on the go. So look forward to that. Regular episodes starting next week. Welcome to Extra Articulated, an articulated podcast supplement. In this episode, we'll be reacting to the Hasbro Pulse Marvel Monday reveals, going over a strange G.I. Joe classified series leak, and discussing our workflow when it comes to an episode of Articulated.
But first, I'm Eddie.
I'm Glenn.
And this is Extra Articulated, Episode 3. I wasn't even looking at the script for that.
Nice. It's like 3 words, but okay.
You're so talented.
All right. Well, I'm not sure how to start these podcasts, but
I got it.
Oh, okay.
I'll start it. Hey, Glenn.
Hey, Eddie.
What's going on, man? How
I think
have you
I clipped
been?
that. Holy shit.
You totally clipped. That was very loud.
I'm all right. I was tired until we started ranting about X-Men.
Yeah, we got pretty
for
heated.
40 minutes.
Like a couple of old men. Couple of old guys talking about how shit these companies are.
So, yeah, this week, I actually had work to do this week, surprisingly. Like, we couldn't record on Friday because I had, like, a interview thing that I had to cut. I still need to put together a film festival, the tracks for a online film festival.
Yeah.
And I have graphics for, like, the manifest thing that I still have to finish up that just wants, or I shouldn't say her name, but the producer just wants, like, constant revisions. And I finally told her, like, okay, I'm swamped. I can give you 1 revision. We better make it count.
Yep, that's how producers are.
Yeah.
And not to take shots at producers because we wouldn't have work without you. But there are some producers that either don't know the process and like to make 100 revisions as if they are done in a couple seconds.
Yeah. They don't understand the time.
Yeah, it is a labor of love, but a labor nonetheless. I'm glad you had work, period. I mean,
How about you? What have you been... Oh, you got your thing. Do you want to talk about that?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
There's some extra steps or some final logistical steps that are being figured out right now.
Okay.
But other than that, I have been working as usual like you. Lots of dailies and selects.
That's going to become your catchphrase. Working as usual.
And trying to stay up to date with the action figure industry and a lot of the things that obviously we like to talk about. But that's what I've been doing this week.
Do we want to... Yeah, let's talk about questions. So moving on to questions, comments... The first one we got off of YouTube from Chamba, I think that's his name. He said, another solid episode here. Looking forward to the next one. Thank you. Also, it'd be great if you could get this audio onto Spotify or something. Would be awesome to listen whilst doing my daily work. Whilst. The short answer is that is going to happen eventually. It's just tough because... marketing strategies are hard, apparently. Making decisions for that sort of thing is hard, and like when to come out with on what platform. But truthfully, this podcast was designed to both be a place for us to talk at night, to talk a little bit more and to also get our watch time up
Yes.
on our channel. Because our videos, the way that we make videos is not the way that YouTube wants us to make videos. And having longer form content is better for monetization.
Indeed.
Get those 5 pennies that they'll send us every month.
Yeah, just so other people know who aren't familiar with getting monetized on YouTube, you need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours.
In the past year.
Yeah.
And we were just by ourselves, we got to a little over 3,000, I think.
Yeah.
So not bad.
Yeah.
And then when we uploaded the first episode of Extra Articulated, it was one of like the most contributing videos to that watch hour almost immediately. Like it was in the top 15 or something.
We'll get there eventually, but this is just to help us in between episodes.
On Patreon, Stephen Reed asks, the electronic transforming Optimus Prime. Thoughts? What does it mean for the toy industry, or is it just a super cool one-off? We talked a little bit about this during the Hasbro Fan Fest, but what's your take?
Well, first off, Stephen, thanks again for another great question. You always have good questions. I think Optimus Prime was definitely moved the bar up for action figures that include, a lot of electronics. I believe it was a one-off.
Yeah.
At a $700 price point.
Can I interrupt you?
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
$700, it's sold out already.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to say.
I can't imagine them creating another other than Megatron or like more than like 2 of these at $700.
Yeah.
That price point alone kind of gives me the vibes of this is not going to be a common occurrence.
We don't have small soldiers yet. We don't have the Gorgonites versus the G.I. Joe stand-ins.
Gorgonites.
That's what they were called, right?
I think so.
The, like, Masters of the Universe fuckers?
Yeah. Man. I really wanted the G.I. Joes to win in that movie.
Yeah.
Totally rooting for those guys.
Yeah. But where the hell did they go from here? Like, that seems like the natural evolution from the Deadpool talking head that connects to your phone that has 700
Yeah, I remember that.
voice replies.
Yeah.
Now it's Optimus Prime with that plus the servos or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
What's the natural evolution to that? Besides Teddy from AM.
I'm going to say whatever price point people will not pay for is where they'll stop.
If people will buy a $400 hot toy and a $700 robot that'll do your math homework.
or fight off a rat.
Yeah. Fucking Pickle Rick. Dude, they should do a Pickle Rick little monster.
Oh my god. No, I want an invincible Omni-Man with like a head-crushing Red Flash.
Red Rush, yeah.
Yeah, Red Rush.
He can fly around autonomously. Just start punching shit. Ooh, you get like dynamic bruises on Invincible.
Oh, okay. All right, let's move on.
Crush bones.
We have stayed here much too long, I think.
Okay. And then also on Patreon, Buzzy P asks, hey y'all, non-figure related question again, but are you guys watching any shows at the moment that you enjoy besides Invincible?
All right, well, this is probably going to be the 3rd podcast in a row that you hear me talk about IGPX. I am currently watching the remastered Toonami version on Blu-ray from Right Stuff Anime, which I purchased.
Wow.
It comes with all the original Toonami bumpers and everything. So,
oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it even says up next, in Steve Bloom's voice. Can Takashi handle Sledge Mama?
That's fucking awesome. Is it still like 4x3s or remastered for like widescreen?
It's
or
360p.
Oh,
it
no.
looks like shit, but I'm still watching it. Rewatched Animal Kingdom season 4.
But how many times have you watched that footage?
Oh, really? God. I don't even know, man. Netflix had an Eric Andre movie on there called Bad Trip, I believe. I love Eric Andre, so I watched that. Snyder Cut, finished that in 2
Was that good?
sittings. I like the Snyder Cut. I know that it's highly contested or debated. There's so many things we could talk about, but it was much more fleshed out of a film. Thus, I think it was better.
100%.
How about you, bud?
I haven't watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier the past couple of weeks.
Oh, I need to watch that still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Anthony Mackie. I cannot wait until he gets into the full. I haven't watched any of the Falcon Winter Soldier, but I can't wait till he gets in the full Captain America / Red or
Falcon.
Red
Captain Falcon.
Captain Falcon. And then he could punch Mario in the fucking face.
I've seen some just really quickly scrolled by some Twitter stuff, and I think they might have adapted the suit extremely well for once.
I think so, man. It's so good. It's so close. Yeah. It's so accurate, and it doesn't look too Marvel MCU-ish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know exactly what I'm saying when I say that. All right, what else?
Attack on Titan, actually.
Yeah,
we signed
let's
up for
go!
Season 4. We signed up for the free trial for Funimation.
Yeah.
And we only did the dub, so there's 2 more episodes left. 7-week trial or 7-day trial is going to expire before we end up doing it. So we're either going to have to actually pay them money or create a new email account.
I'll give you my password I have a Funimation account.
Oh, dude.
Just,
that'd be amazing.
Just don't tell people all the shit I be watching. Okay. All right. What else are you watching?
Last week, after we talked about Prototype for a second, I went back. This is not a series or a show. There was this guy on YouTube. He did a retrospective of Prototype in 2019, so 10 years later.
Wow.
And then Prototype 2. And then he did his take on what Prototype 3 could look like.
Oh,
and it was actually
my gosh.
just because some of that shit is a little cringy. People post their ideas as if they're developing the game.
Yeah.
And he was self-aware enough to know okay, this can be a little cringy, but here's the themes of the story and what I would like to see in terms of gameplay. And yeah, that was that kept me entertained while I was working on the Mafex Superman.
Yeah, we'll leave that in.
So then Steven also asked, with the 80s Commander line from Ramen Toys, parentheses, the Centurion homage, parentheses, kind of collapsing. Any thoughts? Should it have been a Kickstarter like the Animal Kingdom line, which is doing well? Is there any way a brand new toy line can cut through the noise of huge licensed IP? And then later he said, I just saw this, thoughts, and then he linked to a Kickstarter for a 60s show called The Prisoner, 5 POA figures that has made 5 times its initial goal of 20,000.
Yeah.
Jesus. There's a lot to unpack here. I guess for those who are unfamiliar with the 80s Commander line from Ramen Toys, it was announced in February, and they were supposed to be 7-inch and had no license tied to them, but they were ostensibly the Centurions based, which was a show from the 80s, as far as my understanding takes me. I've never seen it. I don't know what he means by kind of collapsing. I suppose I'll have to get that clarification from him. But in the broader picture, what do you think about these weird licensed figures coming out, being able to compete with fucking Marvel and Star Wars and Fortnite?
I think I mentioned this last week. I don't know if it made it into the cut, but I was talking about other companies or smaller companies or indie developers creating their own action figures to compete if they can deliver and if people want it. I think this is absolutely fantastic. We need 100 more people or whoever the shit is making this Kickstarter and getting 5 times the funding. So if there's more companies to give me more action figures, and that might even get me into some fringe shit like this is. Not that this is shit. If there's a market for it and people can deliver a cool action figure, why the fuck not?
Yeah. Did you see the Animal Kingdom Kickstarter?
Yes. Yeah, I heard that got all the funding it needed,
Yeah.
and it actually unlocked another tier.
It hit all of their tiers, I think.
Oh shit! I gotta check that out. I didn't know that.
And it's not even, it's done, and it's not even like attached to any sort of license. They're just sort of, not generic, but original characters.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Steven sort of answered it his own question. Like Kickstarter, cutting out sort of the distributors' say of like what's popular and what isn't.
Yeah, fuck them.
Based on like the general population. Cutting them out is 100% a great idea, and just going straight to
consumer,
the actual fans,
Let's go.
To fund these things.
We heard it, and I'll keep referencing Bobby, but I'm not gonna, obviously speak for him either, but he did mention that at Hasbro, some of the bureaucracy with getting cool figures or getting characters that people actually want was filtered and eventually stopped by marketers who, air quotes, know what the fuck is going to be popular or know what they want, or hey, maybe this is a little too risque. The people will tell you what they want. Companies or marketers should not be fucking, okay, maybe to an extent they should.
They have their place.
Yeah. You're not going to tell me that I don't want a demon figure. Mm-hmm. If I want a demon figure, I want a demon figure, and I'll fucking pay for it. And if you're not going to give it to me, I'll go to an indie developer who, is making his own line of figures. People will not pay to not get what they want. If they feel like they're not being listened to, i.e. Target exclusives keeping the place to get army builders, people are just going to go somewhere else. Like that's too much bullshit to put up with, especially with the year we've had. Yeah. You can't get fucking consoles. You can't get graphics cards. You can't get action figures. I can't even find a pull-up bar for my doorway.
Oh, really?
I just want to better myself.
Oh, my God.
I don't even want video games. But, yeah, I hope we answered Steven's questions.
Somewhere in there. Okay. So recent acquisitions, did you pre-order or get anything this week?
Today I pre-ordered, or I guess ordered Civil Warrior from the Shang-Chi wave.
Oh, yeah.
I got some knee pads for my car.
Knee pads for your car?
Yeah, they're like mechanic
knee pads.
Oh,
knee pads for you.
Yes.
For working on.
Yeah, no, my car doesn't have legs.
I don't know anything about cars, so maybe there are a bunch of like hundreds of little legs underneath.
That's creepy. I'm going to purchase today a 50 to 100 millimeter Sigma lens for the new camera gear we got coming in. So,
hell yeah.
That's going on the credit card.
So I didn't buy this, but my dad got me for my birthday as like a late present. He got me the Alex Ross Marvel mural poster book.
Oh, dude.
And then, which is amazing. Like it's this huge, huge book. I don't even know, like 1.5 feet tall.
Holy shit.
That has every single painting on it. I didn't talk about it earlier in what we were up to this week, but I want to talk about it now.
He blessed us.
Yeah, he blessed us with his magical touch.
Oh, God.
That inspired me to like, you know what, I should try one of those like panorama Instagram things. Somebody had mentioned it in a comment, like, when do we get to see this entire thing? Threw it in Photoshop, the mural, posted it, and then out of nowhere, Alex Ross liked it. Alex Ross started following us. Alex Ross reposted my entire mural.
Not only on Instagram, but also on Twitter, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally forgot about that, too. That was a fucking dream come true. Holy shit.
Yeah, my jaw dropped when I saw it, too. Not to brag or anything, but me and Glenn have been reposted by our action figure gods, so to speak. Glenn got reposted by Alex Ross.
Yeah.
I got reposted by Mezco.
That's right.
I don't want to brag, but, we're fucking kind of on our shit.
I'm sure it's not him actually posting.
Yeah,
it's probably his. He's got a representative. Yes, who also represents Bill Sienkiewicz. That's how you pronounce his name, by the way. I fucked it up in
Sienkiewicz?
Sienkiewicz. Yeah, I fucked it up in the Strong Guy review. I said Sienkiewicz or some like cabbage.
We're notorious for that.
Outside of that, seeing our follower count actually grow, like eclipsing our actual YouTube channel again, was really, really cool to see.
God, it's so hard for me to be mad.
Oh, no. I'm not mad at all.
Like, how does our Instagram continue to be big? We make videos, people. Videos.
Well, we haven't made one in, what month is it? April still, I guess. So like 4 months we haven't made one.
Fuck, we're terrible. Never mind. We're trash, guys.
Sentinel Collections messaged us. Sentinel Collections does our Spanish closed captions for a lot of our videos. Not this, just because that would be maddening. He messaged me and was like, dude, Alex Ross is going to repost this. Weren't you done? And I was like, I fucking hope so. That'd be amazing. And he was totally right.
Yeah, he totally called that. Yeah, thanks, Sentinel Collections.
Totally shout out to Sentinel Collections. I also pre-ordered the Marvel Select The Watcher reissue.
Oh, yeah. Hot takes there.
Yeah, we must have both seen it at the same time on Instagram because Rectangular posted it. And he was like, it's up on Big Bad. And I was like, what the fuck?
Rectangular works for the fucking CIA. This man needs to be watched. He is too damn dangerous.
It's great, though. Like, it benefits us.
So cool. I know. It's so good. God damn
Here's the thing that I told Ed, and he laughed at me. I had always heard that for this specific figure, that the molds for this, because it was traditionally sculpted and they had to make like actual molds of the original figure, and that they lost the molds or that they were broken, and that's why they hadn't re-released him despite demand for the past, 10 years or so. It originally came out in like 2006 or 2004 or some shit.
Yeah, people have been asking for a Watcher for a very long time.
Oh, I do want to say that I asked the original sculptor on Instagram, like, do you know anything about this? And he was like, nope. I haven't worked with them in a long time. I have the prototype.
He's got the molds on his desk. He's like, hey.
He has the prototype, which means they didn't go back and like make new molds or anything. So they must have had them, and I'm either making up that whole thing or they lied to us.
Ooh, probably. My money's on they lied to us.
It's time to get into the news. Number 5, this past Friday, a video was posted on the official Dragon Ball Japanese site where a new SH Figure Arts Dodoria figure was revealed. I did want to mention that Mezco solicited their 112 Collective Ultraman figure this past Thursday for $105. It includes a 5-piece breakaway building accessory to change the scale from 1/12 to 1/1200 or something.
This action figure is on a number of anime manga sites. The 80s anime Fist of the North Star, I believe his name is Yagi.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a statue or a super action figure of this character. I never watched that show. I have some friends who did, but if you are into that, this figure is absolutely awesome and comes with a ton of accessories. The TOM, or Tokyo Otaku News website, details that there are a ton of new figures for SSSS, Dionysian, Jujutsu Kaisen, and a plethora of Neendroids from the Good Smile Company, which makes really cool little Neendroids. They're like these little
chibi.
Yeah, chibi type renditions of figures from all kinds of animes and mangas.
All right. Number 4. In a press release this past Monday, Neca officially revealed their acquisition of the Universal Monsters license and teased The Mummy, The Wolfman, and listed Dracula as some of the upcoming releases. This follows the announcement and solicitation of Frankenstein's monster earlier this February. February. I hate that month.
Me too.
Fuck that month. It's weird that this is like even a license. I guess it's not weird. It's just like these things, these characters are in the public domain right now.
Yes, I was about to mention something like that, but go ahead. I'll wait. I'll comment after.
I guess trademarks are not, they don't expire, or they do expire, but you can continuously renew them. And their specific take on Frankenstein's monster and Dracula and the Wolfman, I don't know. I guess they can license them. It just seems weird.
That is a little weird. I was literally reading about this earlier before this weekend about characters that are in the public domain, like Robin Hood, Cthulhu, Sherlock Holmes, Dracula. So this is kind of odd. I'm in that field with you.
These characters are pretty hyper-specific, like the looks of them specifically, and the likenesses of the actors. I guess that's the license right there. So Mezco had, I believe they did a Frankenstein's monster. I'm not sure if they did anybody else, but that was like a couple of years ago at least.
Nosferatu was a huge hit.
Yeah.
There was just so much action figure photography when people got that figure. And we even had him at the end of one of our videos.
Just as a little fucking SpongeBob joke.
Yeah. Shout out to RX Drone, right?
Yeah. I wonder if it means that they can both have the license, because they are definitely different price points and different scales, even though one is 7-inch and the other is 6. Moving on to number 3. This past Tuesday, a brand new, previously unannounced G.I. Joe classified series Major Bludd figure showed up on an eBay listing out of nowhere, and at one point reached upwards of $36,000, and then was changed to $25,000 a little bit later. And then I checked just before we started recording, and it turned out the listing was unlisted by the original poster. I predict it's from bid boosting. He probably used different accounts to increase his bid dramatically.
Yeah, or there were some trolls.
Yeah. And then he listed several more that actually went for $500+.
Oh my gosh.
And then,
are you kidding me?
A couple of days later, reviews started popping up.
What?
And fucking Robo from the Fwoosh got it in his P.O. box. Someone just sent it to him.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. We should open a P.O. box.
Yeah, we should get a P.O. box. That's such a weird stack of events.
Yeah, and he's not even, it's in people's hands and it's not even officially announced yet.
How does that happen?
Well, apparently this is a Target exclusive, and you know how Target just leaked the entire Shang-Chi wave?
Yeah.
I wonder if they were sick of storing this stuff, so they just put it on the shelves.
Okay, I find that hard to believe.
You think so?
Because I couldn't fucking purchase the goddamn Shang-Chi wave the week of. The only way I can think of if Major Bludd was sold is if he was so preliminary. He was just put out on shelves and didn't even have a street date.
Oh, a street date, yeah.
In the systems or something, and people were just able to purchase that.
Yeah.
It's not even been promoted yet.
Totally not announced.
Not he just shows up.
But I did also want to mention that they advertised that they were restocking their Cobra Island Firefly and Cobra Viper figures.
Yeah, the Viper Troopers. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that at all?
No, actually.
Yeah, I got the email and I tried to jump on because I knew you wanted some more troopers. And by the time that I jumped on as a premium member, it was still before it was going to go out to the public, because it was only for premium members first.
Yeah.
By the time I jumped on, they were already sold out.
Oh my gosh.
It was advertised to go to everybody at 2 o'clock that day or something.
Yeah.
And the general public didn't see a single one.
I have no more faith in anything involving G.I. Joe. I fucking, it's not worth the stress or the headache anymore.
You've essentially paid for the privilege to get these things early, and you still can't fucking get them.
Yeah,
They have a major distribution problem over there.
I don't know what they have done to address it.
Yeah, they haven't really communicated that.
I don't know, man. I keep mentioning Bobby for some reason, but a lot of the things he said in the past are coming to fruition now.
Yeah.
I remember he said that Hasbro didn't care about G.I. Joes. They don't give a shit about the license. These issues that we're running into with G.I. Joe are I think, unacceptable from a consumer standpoint.
Yeah.
The lack of product, the lack of guarantee for a specific line. Do you think it's a resource problem? Do you think that...
Oh, it could be.
They're having like some kind, I don't,
biddings for...
Yeah, or that too, what you said, biddings on factory time, factory floor, production.
Yeah.
I don't even care if I don't get another Joe as long as I live. I just want someone at Hasbro to tell me why.
Yeah, just communicate.
Just tell me. Just tell me. I can be okay if I know why I'm not getting this shit.
They could do this right, like releases like this, because the Legends team, specifically with Walgreens, one of the recent announcements was, or the most recent announcement was fucking Quasar. Nobody gives a shit about Quasar.
Yeah.
Except for me and like 12 other people.
Yeah, I was about to say.
And they're putting them in Walgreens that are like on the corners of every fucking street in every city.
I've seen some pretty awesome Legends and like Transformers and AEW figures, I believe, at Walgreens. I'd almost say I've had better luck going to Walgreens than I have at a Target or a Walmart, which is fucking astounding.
That's
like
just
that just
crazy.
Blows my mind to even say. The same place I go to get my grandmother's medication is a place I'd also have a higher probability of getting a figure I actually fucking want.
Moving on from that, real quick before we get into Marvel Legends Monday event. Number 2, on Friday, Medicom revealed both the Mafex Birds of Prey Harley Quinn Caution Tape Jacket Edition and the Mafex Mandalorian IG-11, both up for pre-order right now. They usually reveal these things in 2s, and it's weird that it was a Star Wars and DC product this time.
Yeah, that is a little odd.
They usually fit in something comic-related into one of these duos, but did you look at any of those?
I've seen actually the Birds of Prey Harley Quinn. I've seen some advertising for that.
It looks pretty good. I like the arms.
Yeah, it's cool. I won't get it.
Oh yeah, no, neither am I.
Not even fucking close. I'm less inclined to get a figure if the movie was complete fucking fire flaming shit.
Did you see Birds of Prey?
Yeah, I didn't finish it.
Oh, okay. It was actually like, I kind of liked it. It was probably one of my favorite of this like weird Snyder, Goyer, DC era.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm not going to point fingers, but I thought I knew you. Holy fuck.
I fucking hated Suicide Squad, so maybe maybe it was just like mediocre, so it was like miles better.
Yeah, I guess. Of the two, IG-11 would definitely be the one I would try to pick up.
I mean, yeah, same. Despite me liking the movie.
Yeah.
That little Grogu is cute. Okay, number 1. This is Sunday. We're actually going to pop back into the booth after the event goes down at noon on Monday and talk about the reveals, so I guess we'll see right now. It's a little bit after the Fan First event, or whatever the hell it's called, Marvel Monday event. That was probably better than the Fan Fest showings.
Yeah.
I noticed it was a very, 80s themed show. Like they kept referring back to, hairy action figures, and
yeah,
a lot of the costumes are from the 80s.
Yeah, you're right in that regard. I thought it was funny how Dan Yun didn't have audio.
Yeah, another reason why they should just pre-record this stuff.
But the event, tell me what you thought.
Well, we'll go over just some of the quick reveals real quick. So they touched upon the Shang-Chi wave, or how do they pronounce it?
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's how you actually say it. I've just been saying the Americanized version, I suppose.
Stupid Americans.
But they went over that wave officially. Dwight called Mr. Hyde classic, and that is objectively wrong. And then they started going into the Disney Plus wave a little bit. Hold on, I'm in complete darkness right now. I'm going to turn on a light. There we go. They went over some of the reveals that we already knew about, such as Scarlet Witch and the White Vision. White Vision, by the way, late 80s, so that fits the theme. I think the first new reveal was that Tom Hiddleston Loki.
Yeah, which was kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, they're using that, like you said, they were using that Peter Parker, Stan Lee, fucking Phil Coulson-ass body.
Yeah.
But it's, it's not gonna match the height of the other characters, but it looked pretty good isolated, I suppose.
Yeah, it could also be a good civilian little builder for
easily
photography. If you have the Jonah Jameson, the Gwen Stacy, Mary Jane, Peter Parker in his photography outfit, that just makes for a good little bundle of civilians for your photography. So yeah, it was still neat regardless.
The next reveal was, what was it? There was Bucky from the Disney Plus Falcon and the Winter Soldier show. I gotta say, by itself, it's not, extraordinary or anything, but they're really refining photoreal.
That is my main note from the reveals.
Yeah.
You're right. The likenesses, they're really getting somewhere with these photoreal printing, man. That Bucky looked really good. Pretty damn close. And that Olsen figure,
yeah,
I'd say that's probably the most accurate. I'd argue that's one of the most accurate photoreal figures I've ever seen.
I swear they're better than import figures right now.
Yeah.
Which is a great place to be.
From the reveals, one thing that kind of caught me off guard was they showed the first U.S. agent in his blue and red. I didn't expect to see the black and red.
Yeah, I haven't seen the last episode yet, and I suppose they mentioned that it was in there for all of 5 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of comments saying, oh, it's not accurate.
I noticed it definitely looked exactly like the blue and red. But still, I think it was nice of them to include, because I did not expect them to go any further than providing just a regular blue and red.
I didn't really expect them to do the Captain Falcon suit yet.
Yeah.
But he's the main standout of the wave.
Yeah, and he looks pretty cool. I think as far as MCU stuff goes, I know I would love to build that figure. Yeah,
the wings were super surprising. Just the articulation and the engineering that went into, the thought that went into the little stands that holds up Red Wing and holds the figure up itself.
But yeah, it looked fantastic. It had 3 points of articulation. I think Dwight put it in a defensive posture, and it looked great. I'm glad that since they didn't really have an idea for a bath, that they decided to do that instead.
They've done the Build-A-Wing thing before with some minor criticism from the community. But this, I don't know. It seems like the average person that is going to get this figure is most likely going to get everybody else too. So it's not that big of a deal that this entire wave has the wings split up between them. I do want to mention real quick, I saw on Instagram that Adam Van Winkler posted the Diamond Select version of Captain Falcon.
Yeah.
And it looks like it shares this same exact sculpt almost. I looked at it for a second, but it was super weird looking at it because I couldn't tell whether or not it was a Legends figure or a Marvel Select.
I thought that figure was the Marvel Legends Captain Falcon.
I had to look at his hashtags to make sure. But that U.S. agent, also first appearance in the late 80s, sticking with that theme, they revealed a sort of semi-classic Hercules in a costume that he wore predominantly in the 80s and early 90s, roughly, that looks absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still very much a fan of the prior Hercules, just because I loved everything about it. His sculpt was fantastic. I still love that figure very much, and I think I'm still going to like it more. We'll see.
isolated, no nostalgia, I think that might be a better figure, but
Yeah.
this is a really great representation of that 80s Hercules. I'm going to have to get it and put it on my 80s shelf. The next reveal was a new depowered Johnny Storm in his Negative Zone suit.
Yeah.
Also an early 80s design from John Byrne. That basically confirms that the rest of the team is going to be in that Negative Zone suits.
I'll probably get all those.
Yeah, so am I. This also sort of hints towards a new team for the Fantasticar that is speculated to be coming out.
Yeah.
But we'll see. There was a couple of teases after this. Ryan looked behind him, and on his back shelf was Excalibur. Also 80s, by the way. I'm guessing that's going to be an Amazon exclusive like the Alpha Flight box set was.
Yeah, possibly. And I'm a fan of that graphic novel as well. You might have something else in for me, goddammit.
And a couple other army builder teases for you, Ed.
Yeah.
They showed test molds for a shield agent.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought it was. I really do want those. I just hope that they're not a fucking nightmare to get.
And then the other tease was just like a little hairdryer.
I don't know what that is.
I didn't really know either. I had to look it up, and it looks like it's a tease for Skrull soldiers.
Ooh.
Which is strange because that's a new sculpt, and they haven't done new sculpts yet for these army builders.
Yeah. Do you think with all this eternal shit, do you think that these Skrulls will have more of or have some kind of interaction with the story?
Yeah, maybe. But there is supposed to be a Disney Plus show called Secret Invasion.
Yeah, maybe this is how they're going to test the waters. Slowly start introducing different kinds of Skrull troopers.
And then again, keeping with the 80s theme and hairy bodies, they teased a kind of a random new Wolverine that's just shirtless. But it looks cool because that's a new head sculpt, but they did specifically mention that there's hair on his traps, so I'm going to have to get that.
Oh my God. Yeah, lots of hair references today.
Yeah. I mean, that was the 80s, man.
And Dwight's dogs.
Oh yeah, Dwight's dogs and his small ninja fucking swords.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but overall, pretty damn good showing. I'm really glad to see a bunch of comic teases at the end there. Especially so much iconic looks for these characters. And we're back in the past. It's Sunday again. Boy, those reveals were great, weren't they, Ed?
Oh yeah, dude. I told you.
I especially liked that last bit.
I fucking told you, bud.
Oh yeah, you did. You did tell me.
Yeah, you did. Or I did.
We said last week we'll get into our workflow a little bit. So we're going to do just that. For these types of podcasts, we don't really do anything fancy. We sort of have a 2-mic setup. I don't know what you call it exactly. There is a name for it, but we have an actual call. I call Ed through FaceTime audio.
Yes.
Because I didn't do any research about latency, we talk over the phone while we also record our audio separately. And then we upload to a shared drive, and then I'll usually take his audio and my audio and sync it based on a clap that we do. Yep.
Just like that.
Just like that. Crazy. And then I cut the shit out of it.
Yeah, it'd also be worth mentioning, just so everyone kind of knows where to look, is we use the Adobe Suite or the Adobe Creative Cloud for almost, I'd say everything except a small portion, which we'll get into in the next segment. So
sure.
Adobe Audition, Adobe Premiere, After Effects, and there's a plethora of Adobe apps, but we mainly use the stuff that's relevant for a production or a small production to function.
Yeah. So I eventually made this little template where I can just throw our audio into each track. So usually with your audio, it's recorded in stereo or something. So I bust it to a track that is mono, and then I mix our two tracks together into a final track. That gets transformed into an MP3, and then I do another loudness pass to bring it up to, like, I don't know, podcast standards.
Yeah.
After that, for the YouTube uploads, I take that MP3, and because you can't upload MP3s directly to YouTube, you have to create a video file. So I throw that into Premiere and then upload that to YouTube. And that's basically what goes into an episode of one of these.
Extra articulated, to be specific.
We're still sort of working on the workflow for our main content for this year. So with a lot of our older videos when Ed was still in Chicago,
RIP.
We'd start off in pre-production, which is largely the same this year. That would be just getting the figure. And that's even difficult because we tend to choose distributors that take fucking forever to get their figures out.
Yeah.
I would usually write a review with notes from Ed. And then I didn't have a mic at that point, so I'd usually go over to Ed's, do my part of the voiceover. He would do his part.
In my closet.
Yeah. But anyway, so we'd record the voiceover. We'd take that, put it into Audition, put it through a preset that we had previously created, and then we'd shoot the actual figure in production. What was our process for that?
Set up a backdrop, set up the lights, we'd set up the figure, the stand, the rotating table. So we'd obviously shoot according to our shot list and then, just get some extra stuff. But, we usually used to blast Greta Van Fleet,
right.
Which they have a new album out, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Yeah.
No.
And we would shoot late into the evening. And then I used to, at least early on, send Glenn, sorry, tired ass on the L at like 11.
That's right. Yeah.
At night.
Fucking red line.
And he used to take the red line like a half hour. And then later when we both moved into hell, like within a mile of each other.
Yeah, we were pretty close by.
Then we used to, obviously shoot at Glenn's apartment. And we'd occasionally have help from some friends who were also in film school who did things like lights or audio. And
shout out to Caymanite Productions, which is Armin's production house.
Oh, yeah, Armin. Yeah, he's still doing freelance work in Chicago.
He's got some sexy pics up.
What a goober.
And then post-production is largely the same. Oh, coloring it.
Yeah.
Even before editing, coloring all of the footage.
That's one thing we do kind of ass backwards. In post-production, usually color correction or color grading and sound. Usually color and sound are at the end. We're able to color almost immediately after we shoot because, we shoot in such a way that there's really only one kind of grade we can apply.
For realism.
Yeah, we just get it knocked out.
Hey guys, this is Glenn from 4 days later. Just now I realized we didn't actually fully answer our workflow. So I'm going to try and fill it in from here on in, and hopefully do it in one take. So after we export our corrected footage, it's brought into a Premiere template specifically designed for our reviews. The voiceover is timed up, and the edit begins. For the history portion, most of the time is spent animating photos as they transition in and out of frame, and the rest is lining up our footage with the voiceover. With the short-form videos, we'd usually only use extremely high-resolution versions of our 360s that I would go into After Effects and animate, manipulating time and adding a fake camera in a 3D space. When the final edit is done, a master export is uploaded to YouTube, where a thumbnail is created in Photoshop and English transcripts are uploaded and timed using YouTube's tools. At this point, we usually send a closed captioning file over to Sentinel Collections, who will translate our entire script to Spanish and then send it back to us. The description is filled and keywords are made in an attempt to utilize that sweet SEO. After YouTube is done processing the 4K version of the video, the episode will go live around noon, whichever day that falls on. And in broad strokes, that's pretty much the articulated process. For this year, that is changing a little bit. Filming is hopefully going to be a bit more streamlined so we can get things out more often. The templates are more robust, so there's less editing to do. And our format is a little bit shorter this time, but no less complicated, just in different ways. Hopefully when we start uploading soon, you'll be able to see that.
For all the editors out there, people who are looking for an editing software, I'm not getting paid by Black Magic to say this, but the reason I use Resolve is because
nobody sponsors us.
Yeah.
God damn it.
We don't upload enough for that. We're not shills.
Yet.
Yes, yet. Resolve has these little tabs on the bottom of your screen, and all the softwares me and Glenn use, like Audition and Premiere, and Resolve has all of that in one software, so you never have to leave the software, period. You can go from media to edit to fusion if you're doing any motion graphics or special effects, to color correction, to audio mixing. It's all in one software.
When it comes to everything else, like in a single package, it's definitely more robust than Premiere or Final Cut. I think somewhere in there we've got our workflow.
Yeah, I think so too.
It might sound a little choppy, but we got it. And with that, thank you all for listening to us talk about action figures sort of without a script. If this is your first time listening to us, we mainly create high-quality action figure reviews over on youtube.com/articulated. Not in the past couple of months, but hopefully pretty soon. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at articulatedshow. If you really like what we do and want to support us directly, you can head over to our Patreon, patreon.com/articulated. For as little as $1, you can help us make our videos, buy equipment, buy action figures, that sort of thing, and get access to things like producer credits at the end of every videos. And pretty soon, I think I mentioned this, or I cut this in a different podcast, but pretty soon I'm going to be recreating the cover of Batman 612 with Batman and Superman for the Mafex Superman review. And I'll probably put up a really high-resolution version of that for people's wallpapers or phones, that sort of thing.
Huge thank you to Stephen Reed and Buzzy P for being our first ever patrons.
Next week, join us as we talk about some of our favorite action figure customizers. I'm Glenn.
I'm Eddie.
And this is Extra Articulated.
Ooh, Buzzy P.
How did you know, Buzzy P?
You are cool for asking us these questions.
Keeping that in. That was great. That was great content.
Keeping it in.